all remember a time when we had to wear these during the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, thankfully the pandemic is over now, but viruses obviously still exist, and I am interested in finding out more about them. So what is a virus? Where do they come from? How can you trace them? And how can we actually prevent another pandemic from happening? I'm going to meet someone who's an expert in the field, and hopefully he can answer all my questions. So come with me and see what he says. Hello, Professor Tulio. How are you?
Hello, Professor.
Nice to meet you. I have a lot of questions about you about viruses because I'm interested in knowing a lot about them, and I know you are an expert in the field. So firstly, I want to know where we are and what kind of research you guys do in this department.
So where we are here now, it is the biggest investment in biomedical science research in the African continent. It is a state-of-the-art facility that hosts 1,000 scientists that really use this space to basic fight epidemics.
Awesome. So basically South Africa hosts one of the best scientists in the world.
South Africa has one of the best scientific facilities in the world.
Okay.
That was constructed from decades of first fighting against HIV, AIDS and TB, tuberculosis. But then once you have the facilities, you can use that to solve other health problems, such as what's happened in the COVID pandemic, but that's gone. Now we focus on new pathogens that are both amplified by climate change, but the ones that tend to emerge in different countries and travel and cause outbreaks.
Is it dangerous to work with virus samples?
No, it's not dangerous to work with virus samples. And the reason for that is because the kind of facilities that we have very high biosafety levels. When we come to the lab, is no infection agents there. You can be relaxed about that.
That's really nice to know because I'm very interested to go inside the lab and see what you do there. Is that okay?
Yes, you're very welcome.
Shall we go there then?
Please come with me.
Thank you.
Yeah. Before we go inside the lab, I will need you to put a lab coat.
Awesome. Now I'm going to look really cool and smart. Thank you. Prof, now that we're here, I have a few questions for you. So firstly, I want to know what exactly is a virus?
A virus is an organism that lives inside us. Yeah. The great majority of viruses will not cause disease. The virus that tend to cause disease on us is when they jump from an animal, that they live in peace with the animal, to cause disease on us. So for example, influenza normally jumping from avians, from chickens or wild birds, or from pigs to us. So when they have that jump, that's when they cause disease.
So do they always come from animals? Can humans actually produce viruses? Do we live with viruses that make other people sick?
Yes, in the same way. That's what we call, in a technical term, zoonotic transmission.
I often hear people talking about viruses not being alive and then mutating. What is mutation? What exactly happens?
We say that the viruses are only alive if they are inside an organism, such as humans or animals. But sometimes, they will add mutations that will make them more dangerous or more transmissible.
I see. And how do you guys track them? So how do you know that right now this is what the virus is doing, this is how dangerous it is, and so on and so forth?
Is exactly what we're gonna see here. We track them by sequencing the DNA. By sequencing the genetic code of virus and bacteria, we can understand the transmission route, but also quite important, which mutations make them more dangerous or make them resistant to therapy or vaccine.
So does it then mean with each variant, vaccines become weaker, or do you need a new vaccine for every variant? How does that work?
It depends on the virus. So for example, COVID-19 now, we have a lot of population immunity and the vaccines are still effective. To be honest, we don't even have a need to vaccinate again. We have enough population immunity. But for example, what's gonna be starting the next few weeks, it is our winter wave of infection of influenza. And that just end up a couple of weeks ago in Germany, for example. So we have the winter there in December. Our winter is in June, July. We are in the southern hemisphere. So the influenza, what it tends to do, it tends to evolve every year. And that's why we do a new vaccination before the winter wave to protect especially people that tend to get sick, like people with advanced age or comorbidities.
Is it possible for us to know if there's another pandemic on its way? Can we prevent a pandemic in future?
So it's difficult to know which virus will cause the next pandemic. Yeah.
Sure.
But what we can do is similar things that we do here, is to have very good systems that can quickly detect the virus and then give that information to development of diagnostic, therapeutics, and vaccines. So the ones that are likely to cause pandemics normally are respiratory pathogens. But some of the ones that we worry, for example, what we are doing this week in the lab, is virus that now are being transmitted by mosquitoes. So that's the ones that are also increasing as the world gets warmer. We have more mosquitoes. Now we have new outbreaks of virus transmitted by mosquitoes and parasites.
Sure. So I see there's a lot happening here. There's a lot of equipment. I'd love to see what happens in the other room. Can you take me there?
Yeah, we will take you.
Sure.
So let's get a look in the other room.
Thank you. So Professor, thank you so much for showing me around the lab. I had a really great time. I think I learned so much. I feel like a virus expert. But before I leave you, I want to know, do you do any kinds of international collaborations with other scientists?
We have trained people from 50 African countries here in person, but we also work with another 50 global countries. Because one thing that we learned during the pandemic is that pathogens and viruses, they respect no borders. So we have to work together to make the globe a safer place.
Sure. You mentioned Germany. Do you perhaps do any collaborations with the German Federal Ministry of Education and Research?
Yes, we work a lot with German scientists. And even some of the research done here in this laboratory, it is partly funded by the German government.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time. Really, it was a great experience.
Okay, thank you for coming.
So after you, Professor.
I hope to receive you and more times here.
Sure, thank you. Now that I've had my conversation with Prof. Tulio, I've learned a lot about viruses. I know what they are, where they come from, how they evolve. I also know what scientists are doing to predict another pandemic. And hopefully we don't have to wear these anytime soon.